Oh, hello. Do you want to learn about Richard Austin Butler? You do? Great. Get ready for an amazing journey.
Richard Austin was born in India on 9 December 1902.
He is remembered as one of the most influential conservative politicians of the century and came close on 3 occasions to becoming Prime Minister. He was responsible for the development of conservative policy. After the defeat in 1945 election, he introduced the Education Act 1944 called the Butler Act, made all schooling, especially secondary education, free for all pupils. It raised the school leaving age to 15. Pretty cool, huh? The act provided free meals and milk in schools to all children under the age of 18. Though later, Margaret Thatcher would go on to withdraw free school milk from children.
When the Conservative Party returned to power in 1951, he was appointed to the senior post of Chancellor of the Exchequer. Butler followed the economic policies of his Labour predecessor, Hugh Gates-Cal. As part of the post-war political consensus, he pursued a mixed economy and Keynesian economics. Also, Labour's progressive taxation policy was revised, welfare benefits were made less universal, and in 1952 Butler briefly contemplated floating the pound on the foreign exchanges.
In 1953, Butler acted as head of the government. Many have speculated that Butler could have become Prime Minister if he persuaded Churchill to retire at this point, but Butler lacked the ruthlessness that would have been necessary to accomplish this. When Churchill retired in 1955, the power was handed to Eden.
In January 1957, Eden resigned as Prime Minister. The advice was overwhelmingly to appoint Macmillan as Prime Minister instead of Butler. The media were taken by surprise by this choice, but Butler himself later confessed in his memoirs that while there was a sizable anti-Butler faction on the backbenches, there was no such anti-Macmillan faction.
Macmillan appointed Butler as Home Secretary in 1995. Butler held the Home Office for 5 years, in which he demonstrated radical reforming credentials through a number of pieces of legislation, but his liberal views on hanging and flogging did little to endear him to conservative members.
In a major cabinet reshuffle in 1962, Butler received the formal titles of Deputy Prime Minister and First Secretary of State. The following year, Macmillan was taken ill on the eve of the Conservative Party conference and resigned as Prime Minister. Butler found himself sidelined after delivering a poor conference speech. Many were outraged over the way that Butler had been passed over yet again, as it was announced that Lord Home would become PM.
Home appointed Butler as Foreign Secretary, and it was in this post he served until his party narrowly lost office at the 1964 general election.